Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm just going to share a quick exercise that you can use to access any feeling states around the goals that you're setting for yourself. So my name is Eddie and I am a trauma therapist who specializes in stress, anxiety, and PTSD. And one of the things that I offer to a lot of my clients is this idea of emotional regulation, right? And I'm going to pair this a little bit with my personal goals, because in terms of recognizing that in order to achieve the goals that I want to achieve, I have to access, one, my feeling state, and maybe any subconscious blocks or beliefs or mindset that may be preventing me from accomplishing those tasks, those goals. So in a previous video, I had shared that I am going to be working on 3 main goals for my life. And that is going to be, getting to my goal weight. And it is becoming a millionaire globally, right? But basically, when I say becoming a millionaire, it's just trying to establish some financial stability around, just building financial stability and using that as a platform to hopefully help other women. So that is my goal number 2. And then my third goal is to just become the greatest therapist that I can be, right? So to improve my client's experience and really to help them transform their lives. And those are my biggest goals that I'm setting for myself this year. So how do I do that? That's going to be like a variety of things, but really before I can do any of that, and in a previous video I had talked about, I need to acknowledge where I am now, and I will link that in this video. But it's also this element of, before I can see myself getting to the place that I want to get to, I have to identify if there's any self-sabotage or if there's any subconscious blocks that are happening for me that will keep me from achieving my goals. So I want you to think about for yourself, if you have had, you want to accomplish some goals and you feel like you haven't really been able to be successful at achieving them. And you say to yourself, oh, it's a question of willpower, or they did something, whoever they is, or, I just don't have the resources, or I don't have the money, or I don't have the thing. I want you to think about, is that possibly your subconscious sabotaging you? Is it playing a role in your inability to accomplish the goal? And so the thing that I have to sit with myself and sit with you and ask you is asking yourself, is there actually a consequence to you accomplishing your goal? Asking yourself, are you actually afraid to succeed? Because what could that mean if you were successful? So one of the exercises that I would encourage you to do, and that I do with myself every day, and that is just in terms of, this is mindset work, but this is also emotional regulation and accessing what is happening in my body, because I recognize that a lot of our feelings and a lot of our emotions are stored in our body. And as much as you could want to think up here, if you're not feeling it in your body, good luck trying to get yourself to succeed, right? So one of the things that I want you to do is I want you to just put one hand on your heart, and I want you to put one hand on your belly. And I want you to just start taking just some deep belly breaths. Recognize where you are breathing. Are you breathing through your chest, or are you breathing through your belly? And get yourself to really focus on breathing through your belly, because that is signaling to your body that you are in a safe place. Okay? And then I want you to think about this thing that you want to achieve. And I will use myself as an example, where I will say, I want to get to my goal weight. And I see what is showing up for me. And just the thoughts, the feelings, I feel it in my shoulders, that it's like, ugh. And I invite my body to tell me what's going on. Why are you, when you're seeing yourself at this goal weight, what is going on? And just, can you sit with yourself to say what is showing up? I don't know, I won't be the fat friend anymore, or I'm going to get more attention, or what if you know, all of a sudden people are going to make comments about my body, and who wants that? And will people not focus on my intelligence? Instead they'll focus on my body. Like, are we really ready for this goal weight? Are we really ready for that? And in anything that you do, I want you to be able to sit with yourself and see what shows up, right? Because part of it is what we do a lot of times is we shun or we avoid, or there's shame, or there's just like, oh, get out of here. Like, that's silly. Or why would like, who would want to admit that we think that, right? But I invite you, whether you do with yourself or in the space of therapy, to really explore and be curious about the thoughts that show up. You know, just sort of like peel the layers of the onion, you know, peel away like that string, and sort of say to yourself, like, what is that about? You know, like what's happening? Like, this idea that people will not see you as intelligent because they'll just see you as a body. And like, what is that about? Like, just allowing yourself to sit in the space of inviting any of the uncomfortable feelings that show up. And then when you can sit with that, it's really just about letting all the parts of yourself show up, and then you can deal with those parts as they come. Because then you can be curious, or you can argue with the parts of yourself that are like, we don't want to be skinny. Like, that's just gonna like create a whole bunch of stuff, right? Like, look at this one or look at that one. And then your job is to try to argue with that part, right? And so a lot of what I do is arguing with myself. The part of me that might say, you know, like, if you know, like, become skinny, then no one is going to like you, or you're going to alienate your friends, or you're going to, you know, people are only going to look at you as a body part and not as an intelligent person. And your job is to find evidence to contradict whatever that scary part of you is showing up. And so it might be that, you know, you find, I can't even think of a person right now, right? But it might be like, well, this person is thin and super smart, and, you know, like, they're like well accomplished. Like, what are we saying about that? I don't know, like Nicole Kidman. I can't even think of a person right now, right? But it is this aspect of, you know, if you think that becoming skinny or achieving the goal is going to lead to these terrible things, you sit with that, you invite that in, you sort of say, okay, like, what do you have to say? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? And allow whatever self-sabotaging behavior, let them say what they have to say. And then you can say, well, what about this? Or what about that? And what about this? And what about that? And what might come back to you is like, well, you're different. You're not that you're not, you know, like, you're not Nicole Kidman. Like, you're not even an actress. You're just a effing therapist. Like, please stop with this. Like, right. But it's about arguing with yourself to just not let the self-sabotaging thoughts take over, and it be like, yeah, you're right. We should just go have a cookie. We should not even try to like do the thing. We should not even try to do this thing, because we might fail at it, or we might get rejected, or people might make fun of us. And like, because it becomes very easy to just say, okay, I won't do the thing. But if you allow yourself to create space for it and listen to it, and then sort of say, I'm going to find evidence to the contrary, then you have a greater chance of actually achieving the goal. So I hope that this was helpful. I will continue to share these little tips and tricks. If you like this format of this video, if you like this way of me operating, I would love to get feedback. Hit the like or subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.